Hi everyone, I'm Coach Greg, and in this video we're going to talk about the variations of the bench press, as well as the technique. This video is going to talk about 5 variations of this movement. First of all, we will talk about how and in what technique you should press. Let's start with the classic bench press. This movement is more forceful. The purpose of this exercise is to shake as many kilograms as possible. This variant is used in powerlifting. First of all, it is worth talking about the bench positions. An important element of your bench press is the phase of how you take the bench position. There are a lot of variations of the bridge delivery, and each variation may be suited to a different person, but the main goal of this movement is to create a rigid position from your foot to the fulcrum of your rear delts. You should be taught. It should be possible to meet the barbell with your chest, bring your shoulder blades together on the downswing, and deliver additional momentum with your feet. The foot variation should be whatever you are comfortable with. Regarding the bridge in the bench press, you may have noticed lifters pressing some extra large kilograms, but they use the bridge and literally bend out like gymnasts. Is this a mistake? Of course not. In competitive powerlifting, the bridge in the bench press is a technique allowed by the competition rules. That is, it is exactly what the lifter can use in order to increase his competitive result, and as a result, to raise the record or take a prize in the tournament. But the bridge is also necessary to avoid injuries. Next, I would like to analyze the movement of the barbell bench press with a rubber band. You can see how this exercise looks like on the screen. In my opinion, the bench press with a rubber band is a more auxiliary exercise. The essence of this exercise is that in the negative phase of the movement, that is, in the highest point, will be the maximum load. And as you go down to the chest, in the lowest point, the tension will reach 0 from the rubber band itself. For example, if you put 100 kilograms on the bar and add a rubber band, then on the chest, at the lowest point, you will have exactly 100 kilograms. In the positive phase, the load begins to increase as the tension of the rubber band increases. This exercise can be used to relieve the musculoskeletal system, as the weight is less at the lowest point. Also, it can be a relief for overloaded muscle groups, due to the fact that the weight on the bar will be less, and the additional weight is achieved by the tension of the rubber band. Include this method in your training program. It is worth in light or more average days. Bench press without legs. This variation of the bench press is probably one of the most common. In my opinion, the bench press has 2 main tasks. I give my trainees this variation of the bench press primarily to relieve the pectoral muscles and to load the shoulders and arms more. Who should do it? All those who have ambitions to press more, and all those who want to pump up the pectoral muscles. The second goal of this movement is to learn to better understand your body and learn a dynamic start, because then, when your feet are on the floor, it will be easier to pull down the bar. The next movement we are going to analyze is the chin press. This movement looks strange and even traumatizing, but it has certain advantages. First of all, it is a non-standard load on the anterior delts, lateral head of triceps and pectoral muscles. However, that's not the main reason why it's worth doing. If you want to increase your strength, you need to train the suboptimal angles of your movement in order to eliminate weaknesses in your biomechanics. In this movement, you should not hang heavy weights on the barbell, because it is quite easy to get injured, and you should not include it in your program too often, because it does not make much sense. The fifth and final auxiliary exercise will be the floor press. This variation of the bench press is used mainly in powerlifting, but it can also be used in bodybuilding. First of all, this movement will help you learn more correct technique of the target movement itself. Due to the fact that the legs are not included in the work, that is, due to the fact that the points of support will be less, you will control the whole movement more well. Also, in one movement, you simply cannot relax, because when your shoulder touches the floor and you relax at that moment, you will feel instability and immediately tense up to keep control of the movement. And the main reason why I would advise you to include this movement in your plan is the limited amplitude of the movement, which will help you not to get injured. But remember, these exercises are auxiliary exercises that will only help you to remove your weaknesses. The target movement should not be forgotten. It is the main success of increasing strength. It should be practiced more often and harder. This video ends here. If you like this topic, be active. that such videos would appear more often on this channel.